Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lawn Road Podcast. My name is Gabe Gooden. I'm the owner of Kaleo Lawn Care, and I'm on the lawn road to building the best residential lawn care company in Colorado Springs. And this podcast is simply documenting my journey in doing so. And today we're going to be talking about networking. We're going to talk about relationships with your clients, relationships with primarily fellow business owners, people who can be of value to you, and ideally who you can be of value to as well. This is an aspect of business that has become potentially the most important part of my business that I did not expect to have this big of an influence on what I do or this big of an impact on the actual growth of the company. But it's incredibly important, and so I'd like to share everything I've learned about it and all of the value I've gotten from it to you guys, and hopefully encourage and inspire you guys to get into the same rooms that I'm in with the same kinds of people that I'm in, because relationships are the game. People are the game. And I don't think I think a lot of businesses are kind of contingent on who you know. Because the reality of it is, and some people may not like to hear this, I don't like hearing this all the time, but I can't do it all by myself. I'm not skilled in every area that a business needs. And so to grow this company to the extent that I want to grow it, I'm going to need help. And that takes humility. But it really has been very beneficial. So when I started the company in August of 23, as some of you guys know, I was still working for the landscape company that I got into the industry working for. And I was starting Kaleo Lawn Care on the side. And I remember at a coffee shop with my girlfriend at the time. We're now married. But we were at a coffee shop, and it was a Saturday, which meant that I was doing my Kaleo properties during the weekend. We were sitting at this coffee shop before I started the day, and as we were sitting there talking, there was a guy in the booth next to us, and he just leaned over. He's like, "Hey, do you cut grass?" And I was like, "I sure do," which is creepy. I don't know how he knew that, because at that point I didn't have hats or hoodies or no way of like nothing Kaleo. I was not wearing anything branded. He was like, "I see some grass on your boots. Do you cut grass?" And I was like, "Oh, I sure do." And he was like, "Is that your own company?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, "Well, I'm part of this referral group in town, and we don't have a lawn care guy. Would you want to join?" And especially as a new business owner who knew nobody and was just starting off, this felt like a really big deal. And it was a big deal, and I didn't know how big of a deal it was going to be. Anyway, so we continued talking. He was the owner of a fencing company. And he was like, "Yeah, come join our groups." At the time, the group met at IHOP, a pancake restaurant. And that's where the group was meeting. And so he gave me the date and time, and I started attending this group called Refer You Biz in Colorado Springs. And it's a group of primarily contractor-based companies. And the idea is completely free. And the idea is everybody gets together once a week. We share about our businesses. Somebody presents about their business in a more formal setting. And the idea is we learn and we get better at asking our clients questions to try to draw out needs from them. So, okay, I cut your grass. Is there anything else that you need? Is there anything on the inside you need? Do you need some paint work done? Does your house need new siding? Do you need some landscape work done? Whatever it is. And the idea is you have a group of partners, essentially, who you guys send work to each other. So when I'm in a house and my client has a need, there's somebody in that group who can provide a solution to that need, and I get them in contact. And so you're just sending work around, and it's supposed to be very mutually beneficial to everybody. And there are groups like this that take all kinds of forms. But this particular group that I was in it was free, and it was just very referral based. And that was the whole goal, was to just send people work. And when I started, there were maybe 15 of us. We have now grown to 30 plus. We have outgrown IHOP. We actually outgrew our second location, which was one of the shops within the group. And now we're at a third shop, which is much bigger. And it's fantastic. One of the guys in the group owns a mechanic shop with this giant boardroom. And so we get to meet there every week for free. And he's generous to let us use his space. And it creates a great opportunity for all of us to get more business from one another. And so I've attended this group for over a year now. Again, we meet every week. and I have gotten work from it. Again, the primary reason is to make money. So I've had people send me, cleanup jobs. Some have actually sent me lawn care jobs, and these are clients that I have signed, and they've become, um, what's the word, like devoted lawn care customers, Kaleo customers, and we have a great relationship, and it's going to continue to be profitable. And I've been able to send work to a bunch of other people and have signed jobs and completed jobs for other people as well. And so it really has been financially beneficial. But even if that is the main reason for the group, the main benefit that has come from meeting all these people is the relationships. For one, I'm 20 years old. My company is still a baby. Everybody else in that room is more experienced than I am and has done more things and has learned more lessons. And they've been gracious enough to kind of take me under their wing, recognizing I won't be as valuable to them as they are to me, but they're willing to make the investment, hoping I will bring more value to them in the future. And that has been a truly God given blessing that has impacted my company and myself in so many ways. Some of these guys have extremely successful companies that are able to advise me. They're a few years down the road, maybe decades down the road, but they've been where I am now, and they're able to give me real life advice and real experience from those situations, which has been invaluable, to be honest. There have been mistakes that I've been saved from purely by talking to these guys. So learning from this community of business owners is incredible. Meeting amazing people. There are a lot of amazing people in the business world. A lot of people who own businesses have a serious drive that has typically led them to do other awesome things. And business is usually not the only thing that you start talking about. And so I just get inspired by these people and what they do outside of their businesses. A lot of these guys, they own this business to make their money, but that's not strictly what they're passionate about. And so I was having a conversation with a guy just the other day, and he's in real estate, but his real passion is art and creating pottery, and he creates these horror masks for horror festivals, and they're very creepy, but it's a serious talent, and that has taken him all around the world. He's been in rooms with crazy celebrities, uh, but he still owns a business to pay for all of that. And so to sit down with these people who are very successful outside of business is just, it's very inspiring. Just in life in general, outside of business, it's inspiring to hear about these people who have accomplished crazy things. Um, the majority of my business ideas, so the growth of the company, new services, especially like the van idea that I've been talking about recently in past episodes, all of those ideas come from conversations with these people in these kinds of groups. We are all of the same mind trying to grow these businesses. Now, they're all different industries. We all provide different products for our clients. But the foundational aspects of business resonate with all of us. And so we can discuss these ideas and bounce ideas off of one another. And so a lot of these ideas I can't really take credit for because they've come from other people. There is an inspiring and very comforting feeling putting yourself in a room with people in a similar situation and seeing each other grow together is a unique feeling. Um, since I've joined the group, there have been younger people that have joined the group. Maybe not younger, but newer to business, believe it or not. I know I'm young too, but there have been people who are just starting or joined the business or joined the group, which inspired them to start a business. And so to see them a year behind going through all the same things, one, now I get to be of some value, but also just to see them progress is an incredible feeling. A lot of the guys in this group are believers, and so we all have a common goal in multiple ways. One, to start a business, and two, to do it for the glory of Christ. And so to encourage each other and pray for each other and talk about how the Lord is leading all of us and growing everything in our lives is an incredibly fulfilling side of business that I did not expect to experience when I started Kaleo. There are so many things that I just wasn't aware of that come with the business owner title. Um, yeah, man, I could keep going on about the benefits, but I do want to share a little bit about... Brew, stop that. Sorry, my dog is in here and he's eating candle wax. But I do want to talk about how I do it. So for those of you who are like, yes, I want that, let me explain my experience on how I get the most out of these groups and what I put in. I strongly believe in this situation, you get out what you put in. So you have to put in work. This is a time commitment. This means blocking out slots of your schedule, which would usually be filled with jobs that make money, to network with people who bring you a different kind of value. It's not a financial value. It's an experiential value, which can lead to more money. So you got to bite the bullet and recognize, even though your bank account does not go up after these meetings in most cases, the value that you are getting from it is just as beneficial as if your bank account went up. So let me explain that. Or let me start there. So again, join these referral groups. I promise there are free referral groups in your city. You can look them up on Facebook. They're usually always looking for new contractors, new clients. There are different kinds of referral groups, of course. I'm just in a contractor space because that's where my company fits in the best. All of those people have a similar clientele, so somebody that they do work for is likely going to need my services as well, which is why it works. But if you're in a different kind of industry, there are going to be other groups for you. So I would strongly encourage you, if you don't know anybody that's in a group, then just go online and look around and start visiting groups. Most of them are incredibly welcoming, and you can join for free. You can definitely visit for free. Maybe there's a small charge per month if they're renting a space or whatever it is. But I would strongly encourage you guys to just seek out these groups. There's also, I'm sure if you guys are in business, you've heard about BNI groups. I'm not part of one myself. I will be joining one soon with a buddy of mine who has experienced a lot of success in this specific BNI. A BNI is a more, the way I understand it, it is a pay-to-play referral group. It's a little more exclusive. There is exactly one member from each industry in the group, and it's very committed. And so it takes a little more time. It takes more money on the front end, but the idea is you get more out of it. So I can, touch on this again after I've experienced it for myself, but that's how I understand it. And then outside of all these groups, you're going to meet other business owners as you grow your businesses and as you are just out in the field on job sites. There are going to be people that pull up, and you can just start to know people. Get as many contacts in your phone as you possibly can. Okay? Whenever I see someone that looks like they're a business owner, either it's just a small company and they're a one-man show, or that you can just tell, I always go connect with them, and I try to leave that conversation with either their business card or their phone number. And again, just creating community, creating contacts. People are the game. And so to meet as many people as possible, you have no idea the possibilities that'll open. And there's no harm in talking to somebody. So just get in front of as many people as you can. Get to know names. Get on first name basis. And the way I do this the best is I do one-on-ones. So primarily these one-on-ones are with people from these referral groups that I'm in. But again, if I meet somebody out there on a job and he owns a carpet company and they're doing carpet at this house that I'm working on, I'm going to get to know the guy, and then I'm going to try to set up a coffee. So I can hear his story. I can explain my company better, get to hear about his company better. And that's where a true relationship starts to build, because that is a unique experience that you and that person share. If I go to a referral group with 30 other people, it's not a unique experience. All 30 of us have the same memory. Your focus is not on one individual person. If you get face-to-face with somebody and you go out for coffee, you're creating a unique memory with that person, and therefore they're going to remember you better. And when a job comes up that is in your industry, your name's going to pop up faster than somebody else's. Hopefully, that's the goal. So you want to get to the point where they know who you are. And so I do one-on-ones. I think I did 3 this week, and I'm always trying to schedule them. Sometimes that's on the podcast, right? A couple episodes back with Patrick Little, that was a one-on-one conversation where it was just him and I. We got to learn about each other. You guys got to learn some stuff about him, which was excellent. But that created a unique experience that he's going to remember, and we're going to associate each other with that. And so when somebody needs a window well cover, there's more of an impactful memory in my brain. And I'm going to remember, Patrick does this. Let me get this guy in contact with him. So that is my goal with one-on-ones, is to create a small, or at least the starting of a relationship with these people. but truly, this can't be skipped. Like, you really do get out what you put in. I like to set aside, I set aside my Wednesdays for networking. So if I can set up a coffee on a Wednesday, I do. That's when the Refer You Biz group meets. And then I try to find other groups that meet on Wednesday, because it's much easier to just block out a full day of no work and just expect to be meeting with people all day long, rather than try to fit them in throughout the week, which can be a little sticky. So I would encourage you guys, block out a time in your week that is going to be blocked out every single week for the purpose of meeting with people, and fill that slot up every single week with as many one-on-ones as you can, or as many referral groups as you can. I think long-term in business, this will be the most impactful thing that I do. This will be the most important thing that I spend my time on. It's going to be more impactful than sales. It's going to be more impactful than doing the work. Meeting people is going to be more impactful. And what I hope is that these relationships last longer than my business. So I don't expect to be part of Kaleo Lawn Care forever. I expect to move on to other things at some point. And there are going to be relationships that I've built in this time frame that are not beneficial to Kaleo Lawn Care business. But when I start the next thing, now that guy fits in. Now his expertise and his skill set is valuable to me. And hopefully vice versa. I learned something new, like, when I was cutting grass, I was of no value to this company or this guy because my service didn't really align with his industry. But now that I'm in this industry, I can absolutely provide value to this person. And so these relationships are not, I try to not connect them specifically to my company, because I want them to outlast my company and be valuable in other ways as well. I have recently learned a lot about humility and being willing to admit that I don't know everything. And that was really hard for me for a while. Because I was a young business owner. I was pretty arrogant, pretty airheady. And the Lord has humbled me and helped me recognize that I don't know everything, and I'm not the smartest person in the room. In fact, most of the time I'm the least experienced person in the room. And so a lot of these times in these groups, I don't really say a whole lot. I just sit there and let people talk, and I just listen. If I have questions, of course, I'll ask my question, but it is of more value to me to just absorb everything everybody else is saying and learn from everybody else's experiences and how they talk and how they hold themselves and how they present themselves, than me try to share my own experiences, which are very few and far between. So I think it's very important to be humble enough to recognize you're not the best, and then try to put yourself in rooms with others who are far better, far further along, far more experienced than you are. Again, I've been blessed to be in a group that they are willing, and they recognize this, and they are still willing to take me under their wing and provide value to me. I think there are other groups out there. If you are new to business, you are going to be in my position when you join these groups. You are going to be the least experienced. You're going to be the new guy, okay? So find a group of people that want to see you grow and succeed and are willing to be a part of that journey with you. It's going to pay off. So set aside time and be humble enough to learn. I think knowledge, there's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge is information. Wisdom is knowing how to apply the information. So right now I'm in the knowledge phase, where I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and gain as much information as possible, as much data as possible. And then as I continue to grow my company, I'll learn how to apply that information into my business. It's a wonderful blessing. So I would encourage all of you guys, get in the room with more experienced people, learn from others. It not only teaches you things, but it does inspire you to see a group of other individuals pursuing the same things you are. So networking, probably going to be, I expect it to be the most important thing that I ever do. And it's been enjoyable and it's been beneficial, and I hope you guys can get on board with that. I have more interviews coming up, so again, especially in these referral groups, I'm giving everybody an episode where they get to share their story, talk about their business, and I hope you guys enjoy that, and this podcast grows, and they'll get the opportunity to share in front of an audience. So I have more of those scheduled. Those will come out throughout the whole year. We're still a few months out from the season starting, but when the season starts, I have a 27-week mow season in Colorado Springs, and I'm excited to release an episode every week of this upcoming season, doing a reflection on wins and losses. Um, a friend of mine uses the phrase like, "How did you shine this week?" and what could use some polish next week. And so I'd like to share those things with you, and hopefully it'll be fun because we're all in the trenches at the same time during the season. So for us all to kind of share that experience, I think would be special. It's something I wish I had when the last few years as I've been cutting grass. So thank you guys for being here. I would really love it if you guys would share this podcast with your other either business friends or lawn care professionals. We're always looking for more podcasts. I know I am. And so when something pops up like this, where it's consistent and specific to what I do, I think it's a gold mine. So I'm excited to continue to work on this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you do, follow me on Instagram. Let me know. Send me a DM. I can't wait to reach out to you guys. Thank you for all of you who have followed me on Instagram. It's been an influx over the last couple of weeks, so I'm grateful. This is enjoyable to me. So have a blessed week, you guys. Keep crushing it. Find things to work on and improve on even when it's cold outside. You're not cutting grass, but there are aspects of your business that can be improved, and now is the time to do it because you won't have time in a few months. So get to work. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.